back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you've never been. So I've had a bit of trouble figuring out what I wanted to do for this video. I know I said I would do like a book haul of July or something, or maybe some of my favorites. I have, however, decided to do an August TBR of just some books that I wanted to read this August. I will say it is very ambitious. I don't read this much in a month. However, I picked it because all of the books I bought in my last video or in this video are putting into my August TBR. So I thought, why not just do this and then show you what I'm also reading and what I haven't read, but will be reading in August. And if not, we'll be reading in September or until I get to it. But yeah, I am so glad that I can finally do this. I've been waiting to do it for a while now. So yes, let's get into it. Okay, so first book we've got is one that I'm currently reading and one that I got yesterday. It is 14 Ways to Die. I saw Just Allie on YouTube reading this book, and like I think it was a 24-hour readathon. And I remember her reading the back and I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. Plus, like, look at the cover, like that is beautiful. Anyway, I'll read you the back. When Jess was 7, her mother was murdered by the Magpie Man. She was the first of his victims, but not the last. 10 years later, the killer is still at large, and Jess applies to appear on an internet reality show in which she'll be filmed once a week for a whole day. All of her social media, every text, and all personal interaction will be seen by viewers. When the show starts airing, Jess becomes public property, and her life is an open book, just waiting to be read. Told in short, intense chapters, Jess's story about risking everything to uncover a killer before he can strike again, even if she might be his next victim. Please. Anyway, I went on Goodreads. It said I'm like 35% of the way through. And I'm not going to show you the contents of the chapters, but like here's chapter 5 and chapter 6 starts here. Like it's very short chapters, but like each one is very much packed with a bunch of stuff. It's very good. It's thriller. I think there might be a bit of romance in it. He's hinting at it, the author. But I'm not sure if it will be in it. However, I don't really mind all that much because it's very packed with a bunch of thriller elements. But yes, first book on my TBR, I am currently reading it. So hopefully I will be done with it today. Next book, The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. As you can probably tell, there's a sticky note here. I read the first and second book like a year ago, and then school started while I was reading this one, and I never got to finish it, which is really sad because I really love this series and I do plan on completely finishing it, but it is very much, I ran out of time to read, so it did not get finished. However, I will be starting completely from the beginning. I'm only probably like 10% of the way in. I also wanted to show this cover. Like, I don't know if anyone else is a sucker for like actual hardback covers, but this one, she's green. Like, come on, and then the gold writing. Ugh, that's beautiful. But if you don't know anything about this series, it is basically like a girl's guide to murder, 14 Ways to Die. It's very much like teen detective. Yes, I will get the first book so that I can read you the synopsis. I remember when I picked this up a year ago, I was reading about it on TikTok and I was like, oh my god, that sounds so cool. Anyway, so Ellingham Academy is a famous private school in Vermont, founded by an early 20th century tycoon for the best and brightest students around. When Ellingham's wife and daughter were kidnapped, the only clue was a mocking riddle listing methods of murder signed with a frightening pseudonym, truly devious. Their disappearance became one of the greatest unsolved crimes in history. Many years later, true crime aficionado Stevie Bell is out to begin her first year at the academy, and she is determined to solve this cold case. I won't read the rest, but very cool, very much. Plus, look at these covers, man. They're so cute. Look at them. Anyway, this is the third book in the series, and then we have The Box in the Woods, I think, and then I'm pretty sure there's a fifth book out or coming out called The Nine Liars, which is so cool, and the cover is like in orange. Anyway, anyone who has read the series is probably confused why I don't have the second book. I just was in the process of moving and I lost it. I don't know where it is. I'm like really tempted to buy the second one again, even though I have read it. So next I want to explain these two. So these two are in a series, but I plan to read both of them back to back because they're very hefty. But these are The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. If you are not new to like Chinese dramas on Netflix, you've probably heard of The Untamed, you've probably watched it. These are the books that it's based off of. They don't have the third one out yet. They only have the first and the second one. Yes, if you are interested in like BL, like Two Guys, I will say the show is heavily censored, so most of the stuff that's in here is not in the show. So yes, plus look at the art on these. I mean, that's so pretty. Anyway, it's just a novel based thing, but it does kind of follow along with what happens in the show. Even like reading the first couple pages, it does kind of follow what happens. However, because of all the censorship, most of the stuff that deals with like their like relationship and everything is very much skewed in the show to be more like brotherly, which it's not in the books. But yes, these are my next two on the TBR. I don't know if I'm gonna follow this like in a list, but these are the ones that I definitely want to have done by at least September. Some of these have been on my shelf for a while and I need to read them. Next, we have a very exciting one, which I'm sure a lot of people will be excited for. It's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Okay, so I want to preface something. This has been on my TBR for about 5 or 6 months. I'm a scaredy cat. Like the first book I showed you, 14 Ways to Die, that's the first like really like thriller, heavily creepy driven book I've read. I did read the Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Menelasko, I think, which is kind of creepy, which is kind of a little bit on the thriller, a little bit on the more on the mystery side of things. So I don't usually read stuff like this, but I want to, and if you can tell in the rest of some of these books, there are a good bit of mystery ones. I want to get into reading mystery and reading thriller because I think it's fun to scare myself. Read the blurb on the back for anyone who hasn't heard of this series. When you ask people what happened to Andy Bell, they'll tell you without hesitation. She was murdered by Salil Singh, I think. No allegedly, no might have, no probably, no most likely. He did it, they say. Sal killed Andy. But I'm just not so sure. My friend who I recommend this book to because she loves mysteries, she's reading a bunch of Lisa Joel right now. She loved this book and I got really sad because I want to read it so bad. But I just get so scared of things like that. Like I couldn't watch Pretty Little Liars because I was so scared. Like the pig mask thing, it terrified me as a kid. But I want to read this one. If it's in August, if it's in September, I want to read it soon because I hear very good things about it and I really, really, really want to read it. So next, we have another murder mystery. This one is called How to Survive Your Murder. This one I picked up yesterday. So this is one of the books I bought at Barnes & Noble yesterday when I went. So my first interaction with this book, I've never seen it before. First interaction with this book is I pulled it over and it said, "Don't die this time." And I was like, this time? I said, we're dying again. was like, this is intriguing. It says, rule number 1, never go into the corn maze alone. Rule number 2, nothing good happens on Halloween. Rule 3, never be distracted by a hot bad boy. Rule number 4, don't die this time. That's so cool, and it's like written in red and everything. But yeah, I saw it and I was like, no, that sounds so cool. So apparently she has a sister, main character has a sister who was murdered in a corn maze, and no one really believes what happened, like what she said happened when her sister was killed. So she gets to basically do it all over again. Find the real killer and save her sister, which I thought was so cool. Like, I love going back in time after your death. That sounds so cool. So yes, another murder mystery. 3 for 3. Next, we have another book I found in the Books A Million yesterday. I saw this one purely because of the side of the book. I thought it was really cute. And then I saw Little White Lies and I was like, ooh, funky. So the book is apparently about this girl named Sawyer who is offered a pretty hefty amount to be in the debutante season by her estranged grandmother. And basically she realizes that immersing herself in her grandmother's kind of world is not like she thought. There were a lot of lies, a lot of twisted relationships, a lot of scandals that no one knows about. And basically her going through it is her searching for her true father, which I thought was really cool. Plus the cover is it's really cute. Look at it. Ugh. Anyway, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. There is a second book. I do know that. There was a second book on the shelf at Books A Million. I don't know if that's the only one in the series, the only one left, or the only one she's written. Ooh. E. Lockhart from We Were Liars said, a comedy of manners and a blackmail thriller tied together in a perfect silk bow. That's so cute. Anyway, yes. And then the last book I got is another mystery thriller. This one's called Don't Go to Sleep. Now, I did read her other book, Bryce Moore. She had one called A Perfect Place to Die, which is basically what's the word? Like heavily based on the murder hotel in New York. That one was really fun to read, and I saw this one and I was like, oh my god, it's written by the same woman. It's got an axe on the front. Like, I was like, this is amazing. I was like, because I really wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and mystery is very much out of my comfort zone. They never caught me, and they never will. They never seen me, for I'm invisible. I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon, for the hottest hell. I am what the New Orleans and your foolish police call the Axe Man. Gianna is an average girl with big worries. She's concerned about her family store, the Great War, and a mysterious illness that is taking hold of New Orleans. A lone man with an axe is terrorizing families, murdering men, women, and children in their beds as they sleep, and the police can't or won't stop him. I won't read the rest for anyone who wants to go into it blind, but it's about, of course, the Axemen of New Orleans, which I thought was very fitting for a murder mystery. But yes, Don't Go to Sleep, Bryce Moore. So next we have a book that, to be honest, I was actually waiting for a while. I remember putting this on my like coming soon tab on Goodreads. Like, I think this came out in maybe May or June. I think it was May. I remember putting this on my TBR list to be read for coming soon, like in February. And I was just waiting for it to come out. This is called Stealing Infinity by Alison Noel, I think. But look at that. That's so cute. Also, yeah, the sticker. I tried peeling it off, but then I left a residue and I just had to keep it on. Yes, very pretty yellow book. I also buy books if the hardcover looks cute. But it's about time travel. It's about this girl who gets sent to this school for like time travelers or whatever. I kind of want to go into it blind, really, so I don't want to read it, but like it's really a really pretty book, I'm not gonna lie. But yes, I do want to read this one. I got this one in July, actually, so not that long ago. But it probably won't get read if it's not on my TBR. So yes, got pretty good reviews on Goodreads, so hopefully. So next I wanted to show you guys some books that are on my Kindle that I want to read, which probably I might even get to before I read any of these. I got a Kindle specifically for the fact that, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I don't want anyone else to know like what I'm reading. And because I really have a lot of hardbacks and you can't fold those over, they always still know what you're reading. So I got a Kindle specifically because, one, it's a lot easier to hold and like carry, as well as people not knowing what I'm reading. So these are some books that are on here. So the first one is Solace Island. It's by Meg Tilly or by Sarah Flynn. She's got a pen name. I don't know which one is the actual one, but it says Meg Tilly on my Kindle, so we're just gonna go with that. It says, dumped on the eve of her wedding and looking for a quiet place to lick her emotional wounds, Maggie Harris joins her sister on Solace Island, where she hopes to recover from the stunning betrayal. At first, Maggie resists Eve's impassioned argument about relocating permanently so the sisters can open their own local bakery. What she doesn't need on her road to recovery are Eve's efforts to fix her up with their mysterious and alluring neighbor, Luke Benson, even if he is incredibly handsome and desirable. Just as Maggie starts to get comfortable in her new surroundings, a car tries to run her down in the middle of the street. If it weren't for Luke's extremely quick reflexes, Maggie could have been killed, leading her to wonder who exactly Luke Benson really is. I love like island books, like Ellie Hillenbrand, I think. Ellie Hillenbrand. Anyway, she does like the Nantucket books, which I think is so cool. I love mysteries on islands. That's the best thing ever, in my opinion, to read about. So this was like right up my alley. So I added it onto my Kindle, and we're hopefully gonna read it at some point between now and like middle of September. Next we have Graceling by Christian Cashore. Funny story. I am like 51% into it, and like I got there really fast. Like I don't usually read that fast, and I did. But the thought of like clicking on it and reading from 51% is like really a lot for me. So I don't want to DNF it, because DNFing is really feels permanent to me. However, I do, because it's a really cool concept. It is Katza has been able to kill a man with her bare hands since she was 8. That's what caught me when I first read it. I was like, yes, I love that. She's a Graceling, one of the rare people in her land born with an extreme skill. As the niece of a king, she should be able to live a life of privilege, but graced as she is with killing, she's forced to work as the king's thud. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, I want to read that. So we'll see where it gets at this point. If I don't, and I do unfortunately have to DNF it, that'd be really sad. But it's just something I have to do apparently. But yeah, next one. So next book is From the Mouths of Sirens. The title in its own is amazing. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful book. The problem is, okay, so again, same thing. This book had not come out yet when I found it. Like it was on the verge of coming out. So it came out, I'm pretty sure, in like May or June. But I had added it in probably like March. So it says, since childhood, Princess Shirosh has trained for the sole purpose of being chosen for the tournament a gladiator-style competition in which 4 enemy nations compete for the right to rule. An angel-like people known as the Aura have won the tournament for the century, enacting exploitive treaties and ruling the continent with a merciless grip. So when I read that, which is why I kind of still want to go into it blind, when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, so she's like this princess, she's gonna go in, she's gonna save her like country. I was like, that's cool. And then I found out that it doesn't come out, that it hadn't come out, and it wouldn't be coming out anytime soon, and I was like, that's really sad. But I do have it on here to read, and we'll see if I get to it. Probably not, because I know how I am. So the next book we have, and the last one that I've set for my TBR in August, is Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. I saw this book actually in, I think it was Books A Million, and because I was like on a book buying ban, I took a picture of it so that I could put it on my TBR to eventually purchase. And then when I went to eventually buy it, it was not there. So I said, you know what? I have a Kindle now, so we're just gonna buy it on the Kindle because I can't wait. I did wait because it's been like a month and a half since that conversation with myself happened. But it seemed pretty cool. It should have been the perfect summer. Sent to stay at her late mother's eccentric family in London, 16-year-old Joan is determined to enjoy herself. She loves her nerdy job at the historic Collin House. So I was like, oh my god, I love that. Anyway, and when her super cute coworker Nick asks her on a date, it feels like everything is falling into place. But she soon learns the truth. Her family aren't just eccentric, they're monsters with terrifying hidden powers, and Nick just isn't a cute boy. He's a legendary monster slayer who would do anything to bring them down. As she battles Nick, Joan is forced to work with the beautiful and ruthless Aaron Oliver, heir to a monster family that hates her own. She will have to embrace her own monstrousness if she is to save herself and her family, because in the story, she is not the hero. And I was like, that sounds amazing. So yeah, those are all of the books, Kindle and physical, that I want to read this August. And if I don't get to them, they will likely be pushed to September, which I hope I will also do a video in September about books I haven't read yet that are now still on my TBR. But yes, it was so nice hanging out with you guys today and talking about books that I want to read in August. Stay happy, stay healthy, take care of yourself, all the good things, all the self-love things. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you. Bye.